Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jessie. I'm a makeup artist and influencer here on YouTube and Instagram. Today is Topic Tuesdays on my channel, for those of you who don't know. So for those who are back, welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about vaginal health. This is a topic that's not really talked about. So, I mean, every girl really talks about it, but they don't go into depth about it. So I would like to educate some people, and this is a huge disclaimer. I'm not a gynecologist or a doctor of any sort. I'm just explaining from my experience and from my knowledge of what I know about vaginal health, and maybe I could help my younger audience out there or anybody out there who's struggling a little bit. So I have my lesson plan notebook here, which this is where I write all my lesson plans for Topic Tuesdays, everything basically that has to do with my channels, my ideas. So it's like a planner basically. And so I wrote down just to sum up, so that way you know that I'm making sense with everything I'm saying with reliable. So let's get started.
Yo me recuerdo cuando nadie me hablaba, todas las mujeres atención no me prestaban. Mi mamá me regañaba porque yo no progresaba, siempre cortando en la escuela no me gustaba. Mi sueño era ser rapero y que algún día me pegara. Lo mismo mío de mí se burlaba. Aprendí a ser más fuerte por todo lo que me pasaba. En la calle entregado, nunca con la mente sana. Yo trabajé para superarme, pa' atrás no quedarme. Tú no estabas.
So we will be talking about the vaginal anatomy today, and maintenance and extra stuff. So first and foremost, we are going to talk about the anatomy. What is the vagina? It's the muscular tube that extends from the cervix to the vulva. So what are these things? So the vulva is the technical term for the vagina. The vagina is just a word that gynecologists, I guess, would make it easier for people to understand what it is. But the scientific and medical term for the vagina is the vulva. Outer lips. It's the lining that's on the outer part of the vulva, which helps to protect the very fragile parts. So basically what that means is it's the lips that basically the like biggest, I guess you would say, lips, or the outer coating of the lips that protect whatever is inside. The labia minora and the inner lips is the second layer of protection for what comes behind, which would be the opening. They have oil glands that keep the area lubricated and moisturized, and they aren't symmetrical. So this is where a lot of ladies complain, where they feel as though that those lips or that area specifically is not symmetrical. Some may be, like, one may be hanging, the other one may not. It all depends, but it's normal. Everybody's different at the end of the day. Clitoris and the clitoral hood, it's a little nub, like a little nub. So it would basically look like this hook, like a little nub. Is the little nub you see at the top of your external lips when you spread them. It contains 8,000 nerve endings, meaning it's extremely fragile. The clitoral hood is a flap of skin that slides back and forth. It protects the clitoris and prevents irritation that isn't wanted. So basically what that means, in my own words, that the clitoral hood is what protects any irritation. So your urethra is the small opening where urine comes out. The hole looks as if it were the clitoris, but don't be fooled. So this is basically the hole that we pee from, and it's not in the same hole that you would think. It's a separate hole that's like by the clitoris, and then the other hole is down here, if you get what I'm trying to say. Your internal clitoris is the tissue that engorges during sexual practices or pleasure, and it is the part that excites the female the most. So the internal clitoris is the part of the female's body where a male or a female would basically, I guess, practice any type of pleasure, meaning oral sex, penetration of any type pleasure. Also, big disclaimer, if you feel uncomfortable talking about sex or anything like that, you can kindly exit out of my channel. The cervix, it's like the neck part of your uterus that extends into your vagina. It's the part that dilates before giving birth. Most of the time, it is closed until it lets out fluids such as your period. So basically, your cervix is the tightest part of your reproductive system as a female. Basically, that's where you push a baby out from, literally, and that's what needs to be dilated when you have a baby. Your uterus is the place where a fetus. So your uterus is the place where a fetus would live in a pregnancy. It sheds its lining every 28 days when there is no pregnancy. It is what causes your period. Your fallopian tubes and your ovaries. Every month, your ovaries release an egg through the tubes attached, which makes its way to the uterus in hopes meeting up with some sperm to make a baby. So that's basically those big things you see by like every time you see like the model in like hospitals or anything, like, or in sexual education in school, you would basically see these big things, and then there's like these two tubes attached. That's where the eggs come from, and then they go into the tubes that you see and down, hopefully like meeting up with some type of sperm. And if it doesn't, obviously the egg releases, and then all the residue and stuff comes out. So that's when you know it has shed its lining. So for maintenance of the vagina, I'm gonna speak on my experience and what I do, and then what's recommended from gynecologists. Again, I'm not a gynecologist, but this is from a reliable source as to what's recommended. So first and foremost, I personally follow with this recommendation because I just think it's the best, because of the fact that a lot of women suffer from BV, which would be bacterial vaginosis, or yeast infections, or UTIs, like urinary tract infections. Nobody really talks about that much, or they don't really go into further detail on that. So personally, me, every 30 days, meaning every time I get off my period, I love to do like a vaginal detox. It would be either with boric acid suppositories, or it would be from these ovules, these gel-like ovules. I will put it on the screen, or you will see it on my thumbnail as to what I'm talking about. But first and foremost, most importantly, don't think that boric acid suppositories as a detox or the ovules I'm talking about are going to save you. If you have a serious problem, you have to go to your gynecologist, because these are natural remedies to suppress the situation. But if it's that bad to where you think that's gonna remove itself as quickly, if it's severe, this is not a permanent solution if that's something you're prone to constantly. So I highly suggest you go to your gynecologist. But these are some alternatives as to what may suppress the situation at times. So for yeast infections, or even after my period, I just personally like to do a detox with boric acid suppositories, or again like the ovules I was talking about. Two really good brands I would say for boric acid suppositories are the Honey Pot Co. and Love Wellness. They're the two best rated. They're completely natural, completely organic, certified. I would suggest for women, the best thing to do if you use, I personally don't use menstrual cups because I'm not there yet. I would like to, maybe in the future, to try it so I don't have to keep spending money or anything on feminine hygiene products or sanitary stuff. But I'm not there yet. So either use a menstrual cup if you're using that, toodles to you. But I'm just not there yet. So I personally use 100% cotton, like organic pads. So again, The Honey Pot Co. contains these herbal organic pads, which are the best. I use 100% cotton panties, like 100% cotton. Sometimes, like, personally for me, I use thongs a lot, like a lot. But I try my best not to, like, to try to, like, let my little area breathe, because I know thongs are not good for you. But I just do not want to be walking around wearing granny panties, because no. Let's talk how we wash down there. So first and foremost, the vagina cleans itself, yes. So try when you use a certain soap. Again, the Honey Pot Co. And no, this video is not sponsored by the Honey Pot Co. Even though I wish, and I tried contacting them, but they couldn't get me, they couldn't sponsor me at the moment, so it's totally fine. But so basically I use the Honey Pot Co. Sensitive Wash. It's $9.99. Everything I'm going to list down below in the description box, and it's all available at Target. So how we wash, I would wash like the area surrounding the hole. So basically the area surrounding the vestibule. So that's the main hole, besides like the pee hole. I would use that, or if I don't feel like using that all the time, I use the Dove unscented soap, which is the best. For probiotics, I recommend them personally. Again, I'm not a gynecologist, but they work for me. I'm just talking about my experience on using them. They do work for me for sure. So I get them from Love Wellness. I'm going to leave their website in the description box. So I take the Good Girl Probiotic, which is overall for the good bacteria that comes into your body. It maintains good bacteria. And then I take the Perfect Condition Vitamin. So basically, you can take them one-on-one, or I personally take them together. So I know I'm extra secured that, you know, the area is going to be completely good. And obviously I maintain that. If not, you can also have plain yogurt or probiotic yogurt, because it does contain live probiotics or live good bacteria in it that will keep your area good and balanced out. So I personally, when I wash, I use lukewarm water first and I end with cold. Why? Personally for me, because it makes less discharge come down, because we all sweat. Like, I'm gonna put this out there, we all sweat. All women sweat. Your kitty cat's not gonna be smelling like no roses, no peaches, no mangoes. It's just, no. You can make it smell like that for a couple hours if you are having the night of your life or whatever, but it's not gonna last for long, sweetheart. Like, that's just not realistic. So let's be realistic right now. I'm very on top. So I would use lukewarm water first, then I will rinse with cold. So we have concluded today's video. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and press the bell to make sure you're notified and you get alerts to when I post 3 times a week. Topic Tuesdays, Thursdays of Beauty, and Spiritual Sundays. So see you Thursday. Bye, guys.